Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we have for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC. And that's the fact that after the third free title update, a lot of brand new skills have been making their way into Qurious Crafting. This is of course the method in which you are using anomaly investigation materials for you to go ahead and get plenty of more brand new skills added into your armor sets, each one individual piece, and essentially round out your armor sets with amazing new skills. As part of the third free title update, an entirely new wave of skills that simply were not available through Qurious Crafting have been added to the the skill pool, if you will, the skills that could potentially show up through the RNG system. With that said, however, many people have been asking for simply a robust list of all of the skills that do not make their way through Qurious Crafting as part of this specific update. So essentially today, this is what I want to go over. Every single one of those skills, I believe is somewhere around 12 to 14, that you simply cannot get through Qurious Crafting. Every other skill you can obtain. Some of them, of course, are extremely rare because they are highly valuable. Others, however, simply are not achievable. And today we want to be going over every single one of those skills. And one of the things you're going to notice is simply the fact that most of the skills we're going to be talking about that you cannot obtain to Qurious Crafting right now are mostly specifically tied to unique armor sets. Remember that each free title update monster, since pretty much the release of Sunbreak, has begun to introduce armor sets with a unique skill for that specific armor set. And it turns out that most of the skills, even in base Rise, for those monsters armor sets are still the ones you cannot get through Qurious Crafting. I do want to make this very clear. There is a very good chance that for the fourth free title update for either late January, early February, when we are expecting that next update, some of these skills will be making their way to the updated pool of Qurious Crafting options. So for those who are looking through RNG right now and re-rolling and trying to get some of these skills to appear, chances are through the next update, most of these skills are probably going to make their way as part of the brand new pool set. So simply put, the list is Wind Mantle, Powder Mantle, Strife, Berserk, Intrepid Heart, Embolden, Build Up Boost, Element Exploit, Mail of Hellfire, Dragon Heart, Storm Soul, and Dereliction. And I want to talk about each individual skill and as to why they are not part of the pool as of right now. And of course, some of the more logical ones are, of course, starting with Wind Mantle, which is the most recently introduced armor skill for the Risen Kushala armor set. This one simply gives you, after using a Silkbind attack, it boosts the Wirebug gauge recovery, and landing continuous attacks increases the effect, and it wears off whenever you put your weapon away. So it's one of those that kind of like helps you if you are more aggressive as you're fighting. Of course, this is a 3-level skill armor set, and again, this one is only ever going to be available through the Risen Kushala armor pieces. You're not going to be able to get this one through Qurious Crafting. Another one of these is, of course, the Powder Mantle. This is, let's call it the opposite to the Wind Mantle. This one continuously attacking a large monster will cause powder to form around you. The color of the effect's powder will change over time. And this, simply put, is the Teostra version of the Risen armor sets that were simply added in. So Kushala Daodra's unique skill and Teostra's unique skill are just simply some of the ones that you cannot get through Qurious Crafting. The same can also be said for Strife. Strife is Chaotic Gore Magala's new unique armor skill, where it increases the elemental attack and affinity in proportion to the length of the red health gauge. I've seen plenty of people already doing amazing armor setups for this unique armor skill. So of course, this one is probably one of the more popular skills that has been recently added in. The same thing can also be said for Berserk. When you switch to the blue swap scroll, and all vitality will change to the red gauge and starting to decrease. As long as you have red, you cannot faint. There's still like carding possibilities, like some things you need to be able to keep in mind, but ultimately this one is a really interesting skill that I've seen also people mention, and of course is also part of the Chaotic Gore Magala set. This one is just a 2 point skill, so I've seen a lot of people trying to roll into it to be able to get it, but again, not available through Qurious Crafting. Another one of those unique skills that is not available through Qurious Crafting is, of course, Intrepid Heart. This one has been available before, and it says that after filing the gauge and continually landing attacks, it negates the damage and reactions and reduces the damage taken from a single attack that would knock you back. This level 2 skill, it was originally introduced with the Flaming Espinous armor set. So we're continuing that setup where unique armor skills, even from previous free title updates, are not making their way into the original armor, Qurious Crafting armor options. Another one of those is, of course, no surprise, the Violet Mitsuzune armor set skill. This one would be Emboldened. When targeted by a monster, that monster becomes more likely to become enraged by your own defense is increased. This is a level 3 skill, and I've seen this one also be somewhat of a favorite, fan favorite armor set, if you will. I've seen a lot of people also talk favorably of this skill for many different armor sets. The same thing can also be said for Build Up Boost. This one comes directly from the Risen Chameleos armor set, and it simply says that it increases the attack power as you land attacks and build up poison, paralysis, sleep, blast, or exhaust. They also mention that exhaust ammo files and coatings only. While active, you can increase your attack power by 20%. So there are certainly a lot of status build-up armor sets that take advantage of this one, but as of right now, simply put, is not available through Qurious Crafting. Another one of these, and this is probably one of the more popular skills in the entire game right now, is Elemental Exploit. This is the Silver Rathalos unique armor set skill that increases the elemental damage when attacking body parts upon which the element is highly effective. This 3-tier skill is relatively easy to get, and I've seen a lot of people slotting it and wearing Silver Rathalos armor set pieces, simply put, because it is one of the most powerful armor sets available in the game. Alongside that, Scorn Magnamalos unique skill, Mail of Hellfire, which is available in 3 specific skill tiers. It says that it decreases defense but increases attack, and the exact changes stat depend on switch skill swap scrolls being used. So this one is another one of those where people have been using it specifically for those armor sets that they've kind of built up together to be able to switch swap scroll and take benefits of many of those available options. The same thing can also be said for Dragonheart. This is one of the original armor sets from Valstrax. This is a 5-tier skill only unique to that armor set, where Draconic energy fills you after losing a certain amount of health, and weapons all lose to non-dragon effects. It used to be kind of meta, I think, originally, but now it's kind of gone a little bit by the wayside. And the same thing can also be said for Storm Soul. This is a skill that appears in both Ibushi and Narwa's armor set as well, that strengthens thunder and dragon power and improves skills of the same element. So this is one of those that increases, I believe, +1 after 5 tiers. Another one of those skills, and it stacks with the previous bonus. So basically every single one of those Ibushi and Narwa skills get boosted by 1 with this specific skill. And it used to be relatively popular, but I think it's gone by the wayside a little bit. The last one that we have available in the list here is Gaimsmagorm's unique armor skill, which is, of course, Dereliction. This, of course, is one of those unique looking skills that puts all those Curio flying around you that was relatively popular a couple of updates ago, where the Curious will drain your health but also bolster your attack. Multiple Curio after bolster attack let you recover health when performing switch skill swaps. So I've seen this one become a little bit less popular as time goes on because multiple other skills have kind of like replaced it, but it's still popular if you are wishing to slot this one in with the unique Gaismagorm armor pieces. So that's pretty much all the unique skills that still are not available through the Qurious Crafting options. So if you're like continually rolling, hoping you end up getting one of these, simply put, that is not the case. You are not going to be able to get it. However, every other available skill in the game you can get through Qurious Crafting. Now, if you're not getting the skill that you want, simply put, that's just the RNG kind of screwing you over. but eventually you will be able to roll for that skill, and hopefully you lose either just some armor or resistances and not necessarily a good armor skill on that specific armor piece you're trying to roll on. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. I really wanted to touch upon this topic since a lot of people had been asking me just how many unique skills have not made their way into Qurious Crafting, as people seem to be making brand new, of course, endgame armor sets, and they are re-rolling, but they are not necessarily sure which skills are available there. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!